The source of inspiration and the founder of this organization, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, was born in Tibet and was recognized as a reincarnate Lama. He's a great meditation master and had a lot to do with bringing the Buddha Dharma to the West. He cared a lot about not just importing a foreign religious system, but bringing a very alive system of maturing as a human being and gaining some realization in this lifetime to the West and to Western people in their own culture.
Chogyam Trungpa was, I call him my seed guru, because he planted a seed in me of inquiring into the nature of my mind. He reflected that ability to me. So it all goes back to him in a way. So it's a nice place for me to come in that way, that I kind of feel his presence around somehow.
I actually met the Dalai Lama. The first time I actually saw him is when Chogyam Trungpa brought him here. Oh God, it goes back when I was probably a little boy. It was like, it must have been a good 30 years ago.
Part of the practice was that Trungpa Rinpoche kind of forced us into relating to the phenomenal world by relating to this building.
Because this is the teaching that I experienced with Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, who I found to me to be one of the most interesting teachers in the West because of his ordinary way of being.
Trungpa Rinpoche, he actually kind of bored me to death. Everyone remembers him as sort of the rock star guru, but he was just very sweet, kind of high voice, would speak very slowly in a dense English accent, and I would fall asleep in my mom's lap.
I remember on the second floor taking refuge vows, and the person standing in front of me in line, this was in '78, the person standing in front of me in line waiting to go in to receive our names was the Sakyang. As we waited to go into line, waited in line to go into the office to receive our names, I remember that the line was long and it was very packed, but as he went into the room to receive his name and as the door closed, there was a scream from his father, who had no idea that he was taking refuge that day. And when the door opened and he had gone out the other door and I came in, it was like walking into a bank of power, of intensity, because his father was so joyous and so intense. And that was the day that he received the name Mipam.
The building originally, and in fact still is, though we don't use it much, is called Karmazong, or the Karmic Castle is the translation of that.
The building becomes more itself with every new renovation. There's some quality that it's taking on the kind of splendor that it had initially.
And then on the first floor, that's the gate into the heart of who we are. We still have some administrative offices, but now we are actually finally adding a very important element to that first floor, which is a large open space called community room.
Then as we go up into the building, the second floor is more the sense of inner, more the sense of view. What are we trying to manifest? It's there that we have the offices of the director, head of practice and studies, Shambhala training, Kasung, the Sakyang's office. That's all on the second floor.
This place is connected to enlightened people who have come here. And it has an atmosphere of peacefulness and quiet.
This building is actually a home to me. It's a refuge. I walk into this building and I feel so appreciative of what happened here in the past, but also what's happening here now.
It's home. It's really my home. And just the sense that I get when I go up into the meditation hall to do meditation practice, or the sense I get when I'm teaching here in the Shambhala training shrine room, it's wonderful.
The third floor served us well. It still serves us very well. It's a fantastic space and has been blessed by many teachers. People who practice there can feel it.
It's a gathering spot for people to practice, and in particular in our community, there are a lot of Vajrayana Buddhist practitioners, and we have a lot of visiting teachers, many from Tibet, and these teachers and these sacred practices are practiced on the top floor. So that is a very sacred floor, and it has a lot to do with the deepest ripening we can do on the Buddhist path.
The shrine room has served as the place where a lot of teachings were given, but we've had balls there, we've done waltzing there, we've had incredible parties, and you know, we've played rock and roll there, and we've dressed in so many different ways to be in this building.
So that this whole building really is a symbol for path, and is a declaration of an opportunity that people have.
So we've been working a lot in the last few years to continue holding that strong sense of protection for our members and the people who come to practice here, but also to soften and to invite and to make it a little bit easier to walk into the front door.
There's a sense that our children have grown up in this building as well and have learned to love it and care for it as we have. The next generation of practitioners have really grown up with this place as the place of their practice.
From 1973 to 1975, there were a bunch of kids that were born. And so we really grew up together for 33 years. So there's a bond there that is incredible.
Most of my memories of this building were, you know, Sadhana Mahamudra feasts and Shambhala Day events, and being bored and running around the building and kind of exploring and getting into trouble generally. And
I also think of the basement and how it has been a place where our children learn the Dharma, to learn things in Bodhi school and learn how to sit and learn how to be kind to each other and learn very special Dharma stories and arts and crafts, and how the building has rocked with that as well.
And Chogyam Trungpa was like the grandfather of our, my whole sort of generation, called the Dharma Brats.
I still remember Shambhala days here when I was 4, 5, 6. I don't really remember anything that was said other than playing in the basement with my friends. And so it actually was always a very warm, strong reference point for me.
back when I was a teenager and getting into plenty of trouble, at one point something particularly bad happened, and my dad called together a council of old